It's a tail. Mark, it's your choice. Nigel to break. Thank you, the first frame.
A
Nigel
very good
Bonsford.
evening, Seema. A very good evening, everyone. And a fabulous introduction from Rob Walker there, and Nigel Bond enjoyed every second of it. And it's the 54-year-old who gets this match underway. Can he keep this magical run going? It's going to be tough for him tonight. He's up against one of the very best in the game. One of the best break builders the game's ever seen. Remarkable comeback for Nigel against Gary Wilson, Alan.
Yeah, and after the excitement and the furore of the famous win over Judd Trump, it's not easy to follow that up with another performance and, well, to win from 5-2 behind. That was fantastic. But yeah, it's an interesting evening all round, I think. The other thing, let's not forget, Nigel Bond is a wonderful snooker player, has been for a long time now. I don't fancy this job tonight. I don't think for a second that he won't. He's a clever player, knows his way around the table, knows all the shots, he used all that experience. There's a clever little shot. You see, things like that he'll always get right. The question is, get it which side of the table for the cue ball? The answer, the left-hand side. So where does Nigel go? To the left. That's the way he plays. That's the way he will always play.
Now this opening frame may turn out to be a little bit of a scrappy one with the blue and pink over on the side cushion. Not a lot either player can do if the balls run awkward early on in a frame. That's a magnificent way to start a match. Long pot like that. Straight away a chance to get the blue back on its spot. This is far from easy though, a little cutback. Yeah, well played. I think he's okay, he can get back across for the blue. If he wasn't hampered, he might even think about bringing the pink off the cushion. Because of those three reds, he has to bridge over. This one into the left corner is awkward, taking the one to the middle.
Seven.
He's had a couple of last frame deciders to get himself through to this stage. In his last match against Kurt Mafflin, it looked like he was out. Kurt took a tricky brown into the middle and he duly cleared up the colours. Good under pressure, Mark Allen.
Thanks. 13.
it's limited to what he can do because he's straight. He can either run through, screw back. So screw back it is, with a little bit of reverse side. He's going to be hampered with those 2 reds. He may need the spider here, but at least he doesn't have too much to do with it. Plenty of action on that cue ball there. Mind you, having said that he hasn't too much to do with it, it's not a good angle, that red into the left corner. If it was straight, he could get the spider out and just drop it in for the black, but it's not straight. Now you can see there's a little bit of angle, so he has to get it with a little bit of pace to guarantee getting on the black. Very awkward. And using the old Ray Reardon technique, the rest on top of the spider. The 6 times former world champion used to do that. And if you're watching Ray, all the very best to you. 87 years young now, Ray Reardon. But that was his particular type of shot.
See what?
Rest on top of the spider.
That shot in the blue off the opening red tells us he wants to be aggressive, but nah, I can't do it this time.
Well,
Way too thin. The black
21.
still settling. I'll just drop in behind it. Nigel's got to be a wee bit careful with the escape. That yellow's big, isn't it? It's a big target. Picked out a beauty. Look at Plant again, showing intent, aggressive intent early on. Wouldn't have been sure of that one.
Yeah, the pink slightly in the way of taking the green there, so blue's the better ball for position. Oh no. Didn't see that coming.
1.
Okay, the blue's gone safe, but Nigel's got the black to play on. That looked to be a pretty straightforward shot for Mark there. A bit of a chance here for Nigel to score a few.
One.
There's a red still available there, the one that's closest to the black. Then you'd have to look for a cannon. Must get a good angle on the black now to then go into the reds. They're not ideally placed to cannon into from the black, but he's no other option.
Nine.
Now plenty of right hand side top spin, and the white will arc and hopefully bring some reds into play. Not too bad.
16.
I think you can take this one to the middle pocket and come off a couple of cushions and drop in behind the black.
70.
Unwanted cannon there spoiled the position. He might try and get a thin one off the pink and try and get in behind the yellow.
Pink ball.
Looks good to me. Looks very good to me.
The bottom, 72.
Thought about the possibility of taking the black on there, and I think that was a good choice. This really will open the whole game up. It'll develop those 4 reds that are tied up.
It's not that Nigel would have set his stall out for this kind of frame tonight, but it's a good start. A good frame for him to settle in. Scores, nothing really in it, just 5 points. A little battle ensuing then. These 6 reds. I fancy his chances of prevailing in it if he can, after that good start, as I say. Not a bad frame, as I say, for him to have first up.
Oh, it's a terrific pot, and it's not a bad kiss on the brown. That's the only trouble with the safety shots against Mark Allen. You've got to get that white on the cushion. He's such a good long potter. Now, watch the power he creates here. Watch the white spin. I've played with reverse side. And this
5.
is a decent chance now in this opening frame. Didn't quite get into that
6.
one. Okay, he can still pot the black. Don't know if he can use that red next to the blue as a stopper, because the white's heading up the table if he hasn't got the angle to do that. had got the angle to play the cannon.
Thirty. $40. T1.
Yes, if ever there was a shot along
22.
red that deserved a good kiss on the brown, it was the one that started this break to set the frame up. Yeah, I'm going to show you again here. You'll see a little bit of check side on it as well. Beautiful shot. Nice half ball on the brown, and this is the result.
30.
35 in front. Black and one more red then.
Yeah, it looked like it was going to be a longish opening frame, the way the blue and pink had gone early on. A few wobbles, but safely in. Yeah, I think Nigel knows that his safety is going to have to be exemplary here against Mark Allen. He just left the white. It's a pretty good shot, but that was a terrific opening red that Mark Allen played. And this is the result.
46.
I think his cue action's perfect for these conditions. Fast cloths.
50.
Doesn't bring the cue back very far. It's perfect for the conditions. It really is. Not a lot can go wrong with it.
55.
Be a nice shot if he could bring the blue off the cushion. Would have to be a double though if he's going to get the lot.
64.
That's a proper double. That's an Alan Angles. McManus double, that one. Tried another double, but well, he only needed the one chance after a little bit of safety, and that was a magnificent break of 70. And the man from County Antrim takes the opening frame. He leads Nigel Bond by 1 frame to 0.
Frame 2. Mark Allen to break.
Thanks, Seema. Yes, frame 2 just underway then. And Seema did tell us, didn't she, the career head-to-heads. 4-0 to Mark Allen. If there is anything, and I don't actually know if there is anything in the thing that some players are suited to playing against others, the actual aggregate score of those meetings now is 20 frames to 4 in Mark Allen's favour. Good try. Very good try. See this again. See these, how tight these pockets are getting. The cloths have been on now for, this is day 5, these cloths. Getting tighter and tighter.
The cloths will be changed for the semi-final, so they'll start playing slightly easier again. But, you know, he was thinking about the cannon there, and it's amazing the number of times we see that. A player takes his eye off the pot. He's just concentrating on the white. Incredible how it happens. Not easy to get onto the red. The red at the back and to the right of the pack is available. Nothing goes into the right corner, so he's going to have to get a little bit of power onto this one. Got to come back across the table or somehow maybe get into the reds from this angle. It's just off straight. See, even if he got back there, he'd have a chance of that red. Just above the black spot.
Six. Seven.
And once again, just coming up a little bit short. If they're a plant, that would be a bonus. If they're not in line with the pocket and they're touching, he could squeeze the plant. He could make it into one. See, it's going to the left of the pocket, so he would have to hit the first red on the left side and it will swing it in the opposite direction. I think he can make that plant as long as he hits the first red on the left side as we look at it. I thought it might be easier to make the plant from the other side.
12.
Well, he's not even going to play the plant. He's trying to cut the second one into the corner. No, just a safety. I'm sure he could have made that plant.
Nigel Bond, 12.
Well, there's an indication of the way Mark Allen wants the frames to go, taking an opportunity to play an attacking safety shot, but he hasn't got them safe, so maybe Nigel might punish him for that.
Actually played it in the same way Mark Allen potted that red in frame 1 with check. He's pushed the cue ball out now. Is he not a sitter, this red? Oh, beautifully controlled. Well played.
1.
Had to play for that red that's near the yellow. I think those reds are all sort of covering each other somewhat into both
6.
corners. Mark already did have a look at them, so he'll know what's available, and maybe a couple that'll go into the left corner. Obviously is the way he played that.
$12.
Yeah, there's a couple of reds available to him.
$30.
It was Mark that opened all the reds up with an attacking safety shot, and Nigel had a half chance. Well, it wasn't a bad chance, but just overcut the long red. He'd love to take that one again. That's the end of break.
20. Mark Allen, 20.
That was interesting there, Alan. He lifted his extension up. If White had hit that, it would have been a foul shot. And I think it happened in a match with one of the Chinese or Thai players. It was a strange one. He potted the pink for frame ball. And the extension was still there, and the White landed on it. But after a long debate, they decided the result stood.
Yeah, it was young Yuan Sijun against John Higgins, actually, over in Germany. See it there, Mark. I was aware, obviously, to pick it up, but it wasn't actually. It was the rest, wasn't it? He left the rest on the table, and after potting match black, it was a. And it did hit the rest eventually, but the handshake was already administered by that time, so certainly John Higgins wasn't going to claim the frame or anything like that. But yeah, it was an unusual one. It was over in Germany in early February.
Good chance of making this plant. Just a bit too pacey. He was hoping to stop on the yellow there, and it would have been a really good chance to have got back up amongst the reds. It just carried on though, so he's going to have to do it off the brown.
$5.
Was hoping to leave this red for the middle pocket. He's going to have to take it in the corner and head back up towards the brown again, you would think, from the angle he has.
Nigel Bond, 5.
Could do with knocking that type of shot in, keep a bit of pressure on his opponent.
I think if Nigel's going to win tonight, he obviously has to score. That's the most obvious thing in the world. But look at the pot success, 79%. that has to rise. I'm sure it will, but he's had a few chances already. But highest break at the moment, just 17. Yes, we're only halfway through frame 2. But he's got to score. Cue ball has to be better.
Yeah, even on his safety shots, Alan, it's got to be a bit better than where he's put that. Well, that's incredible.
Foul.
That's incredible.
Nigel Bond.
To knock the black in from that angle and at that pace.
Is it a free ball? I wonder.
Not quite. I think the one to the left of the 4 near the pink, he can hit both sides. You've got to be able to hit both sides of the ball, and he can on this occasion. But to knock the black in from that last shot, quite amazing. Have a look at this. That is incredible. A very key shot coming up for Nigel Bond. Not only a good pot, but he's got to find a position on the black. Okay, the pink's there if he happens to snooker himself.
One.
Pink it is then. You're going to have to play this with a little bit of power if he's going to get good position. Yeah, nicely played. Stunned it in very nicely. I think Nigel was hoping that the pink wouldn't go on its own spot. Greg Coniglio, the referee, used his ball market. That told him that it did. So now this red might be tight. If he hits the red and the pink at the same time, it's a foul shot. Must catch the red first. Yeah, no problem with that.
8.
Mentioned this cue ball. Here's this a big shot coming up. This, I assume he's going to play the blue. Natural couple of cushions. 2 reds above. And to the right of the black. Land on one of them. But cue ball is massively important here. He's not hit this. He's not delivering properly, Nigel. You see him there having a little swipe of his cue after the shot. Not getting through it. He's 3 feet short of pace there.
30.
Perhaps still tension in the arm.
Yeah, I'll just put the circle up. That's where, or even just short of that, that's where he was playing to. And he would have had the choice of the 2 reds that Alan mentioned.
If the 2 reds below the pink together, if they're a plant to right corner, then they probably are, because he's deliberately leaving the cue ball up in the green corner, the green pocket corner. So he played that with a hint of check. Good speed.
Nigel Bond.
So he's covered
30.
the plant, if it is one, and he's covered the loose red as well. Good shot. There's that plant. No good. Now he's hampered by the green though. This makes it at least 4 or 5 times more difficult. If you're free queuing the side of the green, fancy him to get this. I don't fancy this much, this red.
Yeah, I don't think Nigel fancies it either, but he's got to take it on because he can't leave it there. Very good cueing there. Where's that white going though? Oh, that's unlucky.
Foul. Mark out. 4.
Very unlucky there. And to be hampered like that and cue it that well, very unfortunate. But Nigel knew straight away that the white was going in the pocket. So one good pot here, and look at the way the table's sitting.
One.
I did have another look at the 2 reds to see if there were a possible plant. He screwed back for the one between the pink and other red and lost a bit of concentration on the pot there.
One.
Well, he's got the cannon on the brown as well. Terrific pot. He did it in the opening frame and went on to make a 70 break. Maybe this time it's not quite as good a kiss because he's almost straight on the brown. Slight angle.
Five. Six.
Yeah, he's got to get right round the table to somewhere near the circle to leave that red.
Eight.
Couldn't have played it any better.
Nine.
Just can't find a good positional shot at the minute. Alright, the one where the rest was, but it's the key shots that are not coming off right now. I don't even think there's any value in the green, is there? If there's any way of getting near the red, probably just settle for leaving a good snooker in behind the green off by means of the blue. I think that's all he's got here. Look at the scoreboard 2 behind.
Mark Allen, 9.
Always the correct shot there. Now that he's brought the blue into play, he knows if Nigel, even if he escapes from this and leaves the red, they're there for the taking. Just enough room to go round the back of that red, though. I mean, if he comes off the side cushion where he's pointing there, he would have to be very accurate. This is probably slightly easier the way he's going, but you just don't know where they're going to go. You've got to just play to hit the red and hope you get it safe. Well, we might have flipped the snooker back if it keeps going. Is the pink going to come to his rescue? Not quite.
Didn't miss that by much. Fortunately, I think it's just pulled up in time. Nigel. He could take it on. It's wafer thin. I think where the green is, he'll probably opt on that cue ball in behind the green. You take that red on, you miss it, you're bound to leave it over the pocket. Percentage-wise, it'd be stunning in behind the green. That's what he'll play, I would imagine. Quite a big target. Oh yes, he's played it lovely. Good shot. Very good.
Just stepping back to let the referee have a look where the cue ball is, just in case there's a foul committed. Would have to be replaced. I think he can swerve around the yellow and hit the cushion and then the red, but he's going twice across the table to try and just land on this. And that's a bad misjudgment.
Foul. A miss. Nigel Bond. 4.
And could play down for the blue here. But once again, he's underhit that. He should have been almost straight on the blue. Now he's got a bit of work to do. He's just not getting through the ball, Alan, is he?
Yeah, the other mistake he's made there, he should be playing in a choice of 3 colours. He should have been playing for yellow. If you hit it too far, you're on the brown. If you're short, you're on the blue. Played this nicely. Good recovery. He really does need to win the frame at this. We're at 12 ahead then. Yellow, green and brown to equalise.
And to really settle down, because you never settle until you get your first frame on the board. The chance is there now. It wobbled a bit, but
11.
Just the brown needed, so make sure of the pot. That's a cracking blue. That'll give him a boost of confidence.
26.
Nigel Bond's highest break of the match so far, superseding only a 17 break, but the most important figure is his back level at 1 apiece.
third frame. Nigel won to win.
Yeah, the gentleman in the studio with Seema has won a few titles. Sense of a long pot for Mark Allen. An early chance now for Nigel Bond. Just a bit of noise from the other table. They're in between frames and just coming in, so settle down in a minute or two.
One.
Extended rest.
Yeah. 5.
Now this is a shot we keep saying with the new, well, they're not new, they've been around for a long, long time, but going way back over 30 years ago that didn't have extensions like this, had stuff at the side of the table called the long tackle, and you couldn't have screwed back with the tips that were on them. But it's such a vast difference in being able to use the tip of your own cue.
Six.
Do you remember the first extension, Alan? I'm testing you here. Jim Meadowcroft.
Yeah,
Q Plus it was called.
yeah, I do remember it. Brown, wasn't it? A brown. It wasn't extendable, wasn't it? That one.
No, not the first one. But yeah, Jim Meadowcroft passed away a few years ago.
11.
Great player, great commentator for the BBC.
12.
Still very early in this match, obviously, but Nigel winning that last frame, there's the sense that things going his way. Time being. Oh, he's played this lovely. Red goes through the gap, so great shot. That's as good a shot as he's played tonight, and that should set up a decent contribution here.
Yeah,
20.
against Judd Trump, there was a couple of frames where he knocked in an 85 and a century break. So, you know, he started to do it with style. There was a few scrappy frames which would have suited Nigel, but when the question was asked, he knocked them in.
Six. 27. 34.
They're not actually all that dissimilar in terms of the way they strike the ball, Mark Allen and Nigel, just a couple of short feathers. The one major difference being that
85.
Nigel Bond, when he's got his hand on the table and playing shots, there's a lot more cues. Bridge farther away from the cue ball than Mark.
I'm wondering if a little triangular reds, if one of them goes when he pots this, it'll clear the path.
42.
I'm not sure, but he's looking for 69 points. So he's only 27 points away from leaving Mark Allen leading a snooker. Now, does that
53.
red go? That's what he's looking at.
Yeah, the red actually does go, and there's also a plant. There it is. The plant actually looks a certainty, doesn't it?
Yeah, plant would be a lot easier than the single pot.
50.
Yeah, he fancies it as well. Can he control the cue ball? Yeah, good shot. Very good.
51.
Still a little bit of work to do here to secure this third frame.
He's
got a slight angle on the pink here. Okay, he's not that red safe that he cannoned into, but he can develop another one here, possibly two. I think he's, the way he's walking around the table, he can get through to this one. This is terrific stuff from Nigel Bond here.
65. $66.
One thing that Mark Allen mustn't, and he won't, incidentally, but one thing you don't want to do in this situation is think or assume that Nigel's going to miss because he's not been here in a long time at this stage of a tournament like this, and think, well, I'll expect him maybe to miss or come a crop or something. No, what you've got to think is, my opponent is going to score heavily every time I give him a chance.
74.
And he has done this time. This has been fabulous.
That was awkward cueing, but
Nigel Bond, 74. And the
Mark
frame.
Allen nods to the referee. He concedes. So what an effort there. And that break of 74 takes Nigel Bond into a 2-frames-to-1 lead. I think Nigel's got his own script here. He's reading his own script. He's not going to bother about everybody thinks, Alan.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the way, you know. Like I said, Mark won't think that, you know, I'm playing a 54-year-old. He's not been here all that often. I'll get my chances. He'll miss a few. But no, you can't think. You've got to. But he knows how good a player Nigel is, and he is. He's a fantastic player. Has been his whole career. 30 years a pro, actually, Nigel Bond.
Did win a ranking title back in 1996, won the British Open. But one of his great matches was in the World Championship against Cliff Thorburn, 9-2 down, and come back and won 10-9. And that was Cliff's last appearance. Not at the Crucible. He did win the Masters at the Crucible, the Seniors Masters, but his last appearance in the World Championship. And it was Nigel who made that fabulous comeback against him.
Mark Allen's.
Yeah, frame 3 then. The frame before the intermission. Nigel Bond 2-1 in front. So, Mark Allen not under pressure, but now he has to respond. I said it, I think it was frame 1 with Nigel. What you will get from him and I don't mean just tonight or for a week or a month or a year, his whole game, he plays the correct shot, he makes it difficult for his opponents, always. So he'll do that this evening. He doesn't give you all that many freebies, so when he is scoring, as he did in the last frame, you have got a job in your hands. He really does know this game. He knows his onions. Needs his cue ball to travel. Oh, has it? Just.
Thought he was going to stick this red up once he'd missed it, but it's still cuttable. But for a moment there, and I think Mark would have thought it was going to go right over the pocket, but very awkward this. Can't play it as a shot to nothing because of the red up between the brown and blue. If that wasn't there, he could take this on with a little bit of safety in mind. So. But he looks pretty positive. It's a long bridge over those reds there with the extension. Tough. But well played. And he's given himself another good chance in this fourth frame. There's about 5 reds still available.
Six. Seven. 12. $30.
Just a wee bit on the high side on that black, so yeah, pink's probably a better option. Played it nicely. Just checking the pink spot. Nigel will obviously feel that even if it doesn't go on its spot, it'll nestle into the back of the bunch and won't interfere with this red.
Yeah.
Wow. Referee nearly picked the white up. Was concentrating on so much and making sure that where the pink would go. Even Mark seen the funny side of that. Let's have a look at he sorted everything out and whoops. Leave that one there, Greg.
Thank you. 90.
Nigel looked around and had a good laugh with Mark.
20.
I remember playing a match one time against Jimmy White, and the great John Williams, the referee, actually did pick the cue ball up.
And it happened once for one of the greatest lady referees ever, one of the greatest
27.
referees ever, Mackay the Tab. And she let out a little scream when she picked it up. Just the pace kept that out.
27.
Boy, look at this again. There's many a slip twixt cup and lip. All round the pocket twice, I think, yeah. So the chance gone. Yeah, that's a good shot. Very crisp striking.
You'll have to play for that red to the right of the pink. If he's straight on the black, it'll go into the middle pocket. was all he could do there. And this is not a gimme by any means. Use the pink to screw
8.
back off. And he's done the same thing.
Mark Allen, 8.
These middle pockets, you've got to be right in the center of them. If you touch the near jaw as we look at it, that's what happens.
Yeah, what a ripper. Another good red. How confidently can he play this then? Into the bunch of reds. Yeah, didn't miss it by much, but these pockets are getting sharp. See it again. Okay, it probably shouldn't have gone in, but you have to be so accurate. As I said earlier, day 5 of these cloths. Dennis rightly saying will be recovered for the semi-finals tomorrow, so tables will play a bit easier. Not to deal with it tonight. Careful there, Nigel. Well, he was always bound to leave some sort of shot. There was a red that went to the green pocket, the one that he cannoned, and he's given Mark a half chance. It's far from easy. It's interesting. Refusing that red.
Usually very attacking, Mark Allen, but I think he knows the importance of this frame before the mid-session interval. Okay, it's a best of 11, but he doesn't want to fall 3 behind to Nigel in the form that he's showing. Oh, I think everybody in the Barbican thought that was in.
Another frame that's playing out in Nigel Bond's favour. 20 in front, 2 reds in the side cush. This time it's gone awry. Decent chance. Mark Allen, providing he knocks this red in. It's not a certainty.
One.
Wonder if he'll try and flick the black out. Yeah, brilliant. That is an awesome shot. That is such a good shot. Great thinking. Just everything about it made sense.
7. 8. 15. 60.
3 fairly comfortable reds remaining and 3 awkward ones just underneath Mark's body there. And he's going to need at least 1, if not 2 of those reds that are fairly
23.
awkward on the right side of the table. Just
24.
come up a bit short here, running away from the reds now. It's amazing the power he generates with that cue action. Is he going to be unlucky? Well, dear me. I'll tell you what,
30.
to power the pink in and to finish there is quite incredible. It really is. I'll just have a look how many cushions. 1, 2, 3, 4 cushions and to land in behind the blue. Amazing.
Foul. No miss. Mark Allen 30. Nigel Band 4.
I think he can get through to the red that's to the left of the black. It's whether he feels he wants to take it on. That's the one.
Yep.
Doesn't fancy it. He's playing the percentages at the moment, is Nigel Allen.
Yeah, that was definitely the correct decision. Mark will be busy covering that red regardless of how he plays this. Nigel might even get another 4 points out of it. I think I would be playing maybe even on the red nearest the middle pocket. I don't think Nigel's going to win the frame off this regardless. I think playing the top one would be my call. He's on the middle one. Yeah, good shot. Got the cover this time.
Can't afford to leave this man this type of chance. Doesn't want to double kiss this. Had he have double kissed the red, he would have put Nigel right in. Quite a bit of pressure on Mark Allen in this 4th frame. He wants to level things up to going to the mid-session interval. But Nigel's got other ideas. It's not like Mark Allen. He's usually very effective with his safety. Just working out what's the best route to get him back in behind the yellow and brown. He might just be okay here. He is. Just looking at things, he might have to try and pot this red into the corner just as a way of getting out of this situation he's in. Because if he tries to come down off the red next to the black, he could find that very difficult with the two reds. So just roll this red in, and if he pots it, he can then get the cue ball back up to the safety zone. So just not too much pace.
One.
Blue of no use, positionally.
Mark out. One.
Which way does Nigel want to go? Quite dangerous, this, whichever way he plays it. Don't know if the red nearest the black, if that goes to left corner. If it does, this is quite dangerous. Playing it with pace. Good hit. You see, if that red goes, then mark a chance. Covered. Good piece of thinking again by Nigel. He would have known that. He's been able this evening, for large parts of it, Nigel, to almost outfox Mark. Beating him to the punch in most occasions.
The brown's in an ideal spot. If you could get in behind that, you'd have your opponent in all sorts of trouble. There's a slight chance of doing it here, but he's got to be careful of the double kiss. That's if he plays the red, that's the right side of the table. Two, the one that's furthest from the cushion. If he plays, or the other one, whichever one, he's got to watch the double kiss. Couldn't get over behind the brown from that angle though.
Got Mark chasing shadows again. excellent safety shot.
Foul. And a miss. Nigel Bond, 4.
Yeah,
Back.
been given the run around. Present. Mark just left his cue on the table there just to give Greg Caniglio.
Match.
Easy job to replace it. Shouldn't miss it this time. Yeah, he got a piece of it. Been fortunate. The thinnest of edges just scraped a wee bit of red paint off the edge of that red there.
I wonder is he going to try and get this thin enough to maybe get behind the brown. Doesn't have to do. Or he's just keeping it over and close to the cushion. And you could hear Mark Allen say, good shot, because he's covered the two, the right side of the table, covered the two behind the black. That's going to cost him 7, is it?
Miss. Nigel Bond, 4. Yeah. Please, Marcel. Got it.
The middle pocket slightly in the way of the skate to land on those two reds. It's got to get close to the middle, a bit nearer. Oh, if this passes the black.
Marcel.
No, he's not straight on it, so it's not worth contemplating. I thought that was in. And what a great effort that was. He got so close to it that the reds wobbled and stayed over the pocket.
1.
Well, Nigel's got an angle on the black here. He can drop in behind those reds or try and develop one. Well, it's a little bit straighter than I thought. So having to play for this one near the cushion, but he's coming up a long way short.
8.
He's got Mark in trouble again. Very crafty stuff here from the 54-year-old, using all his experience in this frame before the mid-session interval. And what a scoreline that would be if he leads 3-1.
Yeah, as we said, 30 years of it. Nigel Bondi, turned pro, 89, the spring of 89, after winning the English Amateur Championship, which is actually 100 years old this year, the English Amateur. Oldest tournament in the world, bar none. Another super shot. And this is trouble again. Obviously can see the two reds in the right. Has to hit one of them. Has to do something. Maybe leave the cue ball down in the corner. Yeah, that's a shot. Played it nicely. Good shot. But definitely being given a bit of a chasing in the tactical exchanges at the minute is Mark.
If he's going to leave that red that's near the left corner pocket, he's going to have to hide the cue ball. If you can see enough of that red past the black, he could leave the white up in the jaws of the green pocket. He's now looking at the possibility of hiding that red with the brown. This would be some shot if he can get in behind the brown. It's not a bad effort though. Yeah, he's covered the one to the left. And the pinks covering the one to the right. Just tapping the table again.
Foul and a miss. Nigel 1, 4.
Yeah, miss having to be called, but boy, how close is that to the red?
Yeah, Nigel.
That is the key ball in this frame, that one that's next to the cue ball. Regardless of who gets an opportunity, that's going to be the ball that's going to count, you would feel. Hoping to use the green or the blue as the snookering ball, but he may have found the gap here. He can get through to this. There you see it. Needs terrific cueing though. The other red is in play, so puts more risk on this shot. Wow. One. Well, Nigel Bond is pulling out some terrific shots. He had that 74 break in the previous frame. He's going along very nicely here. Needs plenty of action on this though. Yeah, well judged.
3.
That was a wee bit of a loose one. Get close to this red. Has he got enough angle on it? You see there it's fairly straight, and he's going to be stretching using the little mini butt.
Just wondering if he'll cut his losses slightly here and make sure the pink and then play a good safety, because he's got to get the white back to somewhere near where it is to leave himself a chance of that last red. Has he got enough angle to maybe get over nearer to it? But with the extension and fully stretched, he's got to be a bit careful with this. I think that was the best of the two options he had there, rather than try to force it over for that red. He's got himself 23 points in the lead. Good safety shot. Needs to keep the red tight as well. He's got a chance to get down behind the green here.
Nigel Bond, 10.
I know who was surprised that there was no attempt to get on the last red. It was Mark Allen. I had a look at him, and you could see in his face that he was shocked that Nigel didn't attempt to get on the red. Good safety needed. Needs some help with this yellow. He's got it. I think but for that, Nigel would have been having a pop at this long red. I don't think there's an awful lot he can actually do with it. He may just elect to skim off it and in behind the black, or attempt to get in behind the black. There's not a lot else on. If he does, though, let's just have a little look ahead. Mark Allen could maybe then play in behind the brown with a cue ball. Let's see. That's the shot he's played. He's not got it, so will Mark go in behind brown? Yes, he will. See, you've got to look ahead in these little patterns sometimes. This is a big shot.
I'll be a wee bit careful he doesn't go in off here. Very well judged and very well predicted by Allen. Little series of shots that were going to happen there. It was imperative that Nigel get in behind the black, because this was always going to be a waiting. Now, how's your luck, Nigel?
Foul.
This will definitely go back.
Mark Allen, 4.
Just relying on a little bit of good fortune here. If he hits the red, probably if the ease are off 2 cushions. If you're playing off 1 cushion and you're so close to it, it's difficult to judge. This is a chance for Mark Allen. Normally very good at this type of red. But as I say, a bit of pressure on this one. And a bit of noise at the mid-session interval on the other table. Just overcut it slightly. Got second best though.
Quite nasty, this. If he plays the swerve, he obviously loses a lot of accuracy. He's going to have to trust to luck to get away with it. There's a double kiss on if the red were to go straight up and down. So that could be in this shot. I think whatever way he plays it, you're going to have to trust to luck. I think this has got double kiss written all over it. We'll see. Quite clever, actually, the way he played it. The pink's going to come to the rescue. He's fending Mark Allen off at the minute as Nigel. Keeping Mark chances to a minimum.
This red passes the pink. Doesn't have to play it, but there's a chance. Now he played in behind the pink. And it's a pretty good one. Keeping it tight and waiting for a much better chance. Is it going to come? Well, the better chance has arrived. 19 in front. Red and black would put him 27 in front with just 27 remaining.
One.
Not what he intended. Don't think the blue pots, but the yellow does. And it's coming back up onto the spot again. And what a good shot that is from Nigel Bond.
3.
Yellow and green needed, just making sure, having a glance at the scoreboard.
Five.
He just keeps on doing it, Alan. This is a great performance from a 54-year-old.
One of the most impressive things about this for me is the way that Nigel plays within himself. His frame ball disappears, 27 in front. You know, very much, as I say, plays within himself, knows his capabilities, and
yeah, refused
12.
a couple of shots, and it's proved to be the correct decision from his point of view.
yeah, he's tough to play against, old Nigel.
70.
He waited for the chance.
23.
He was
And a
patient,
threat.
but most
Nigel
of
Bond.
all, he took advantage of it when it came, and Nigel Bond.
Key frame 5. Nigel Bond to break.
Nigel Bond then gets this first frame after the mid-session interval underway. He's just left that long pot and a gap round the back of the black. Close. You can see where he left the cue ball with that red, which wobbled a few times. Had it gone in, would have been an early chance. Similar type shot for Nigel, should he wish to have a go at it. Into the right corner.
One.
Just trying to keep things tight again. Has he left the red to the right middle? Appears not.
It's quite awkward now with that red over the pocket. Can't remember who said it, but it was quite a saying. Sometimes snooker, it's like a game of chess with balls. And that's the case at the moment. I don't know whether Mark was just trying to make eye contact with Nigel and say maybe we should start the frame again. Because at the moment it's a little bit of a stalemate.
Do you want to? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. They just says, do you fancy set them up again, Nigel? And straight away he agreed.
Quietly, please.
Just a few people coming in, didn't quite get in time for the start of the frame. So it's a bit of a bonus, the re-rack. It means that they can come in.
Frame 5. Nigel Bonsberg.
Off we go then with frame 5 again. After that re-rack. And a pretty good break-off shot from Nigel Bond there. Left the long pot on a few times. He hasn't done it this time. Very good there.
See, the experience Nigel has as well, he won't be hurried, he won't be rushed, he's thinking about every decision he makes. That's the right way to do it, giving his opponent, Mark Allen, no end of headache so far this evening. Even there is almost inviting Mark to a thick safety shot off the pack with the hope of being left a shot to nothing. If he goes the yellow half here, he may be leaving a shot to nothing. Probably stay on the green side off this. Yes, he has, and played it lovely. Very good shot. Has he got the pace to get tight? Not quite.
Yeah, he's got the left side of the table to get back down off. Good shot from Mark Allen, but this is available to Nigel.
Quality. Played with confidence. So Mark Allen then is first to the punch. Saying about Nigel scoring. Mark's started this evening with a nice 70 break in frame one, but nothing really to speak of since then. Could be doing with a decent contribution for his belief and confidence levels. Yeah, he's just struggling at present. This is where he does excel, though, as most players do, to be honest. But around this black spot, yeah, it's a good shot, well controlled.
11. $12. $90. 20. $25. 26. 31. 32.
Just getting a little bit more awkward now as he's picked the loose reds off. Still a couple that he can play on. Just enough angle to be able to power this in and get to the red. Starts to get a little more difficult after this red, so he could do with a good angle on the black to then develop a few more.
Fought.
Might still be a couple that'll go into the left corner. Find out very shortly. Yep, there is certainly one red that'll go into the left corner. He wanted to be a bit straighter on it, so he's got to head towards the blue. Don't know if he can avoid the cannon on the pink. Be better if he could. Couldn't avoid it, but it's turned out a treat. Couldn't have played that any better. What a chance now to win the frame. Made 45 centuries last season, 26 this season, and 440
53.
in his career. He's certainly one of the great break builders. And he did make that magical 147, and it was here at the Barbican in 2016.
54. $61. $62.
First time then tonight that it appears the shackles have come off. Mark Allen, he's been quite subdued thus far. And it's gone a bit wrong. Perhaps a plant to left corner. Shouldn't matter. 69 in front now. Plant's a virtual certainty.
$70. $75.
Nigel shouldn't have agreed to the
76.
re-rank. This is superb stuff from Mark Allen here.
82. 83.
The break's been perfection. Hasn't put a foot wrong.
88.
We've had
89.
129 centuries so far in this year's Betway UK Championship. Oh, what a shame. What a shame. No
89.
century break.
And a frame.
He just needed the one chance, and that break of 89 has given him the frame, but he still trails by 3 frames to 2. That was better from Mark Allen there, a bit more like we're used to seeing from him. Such a terrific break builder, and he needed it. He badly needed it, and he's produced the goods at the right time, Alan.
I think the point you made then actually about the re-rack is pertinent, because I think at the time Mark Allen was the one who wanted it more than Nigel. It's not the kind of frame that would suit him this evening, just in the situation, just the way the match has been going. But yeah, Nigel was happy enough to acquiesce to that, and was quite happy enough to get on with the next frame. But Mark Allen, as I say, the shackles have come off. Good long red, nice 89.
Yeah, the opening red was a gem, wasn't it? He just rolled it in nicely and left himself on a bulk colour, and that was the
Take
end of
seats
frame.
quickly, please. Frame 6. Mark Allen to break.
A few of the audience members coming back in. Every frame obviously is vital. This one, frame 6. Just on the point of experience again about Nigel, what I don't think he will do at all in the matches is have any panic button. He's in that zone where he's just playing good solid match snooker. Got a problem here. Difficult to lay in a red and keep things safe. There's a bit of pace in this too. Bit of pace in this. As he left one, the thin cut back to left corner might be on. Yes, on.
One. Six.
When you get momentum in these kind of matches, as Mark Allen has at the minute, want to ride that wave as long as you can. It's been stop-start for him this evening in terms of getting rhythm. Now, little soft screw into the edge. Back. Oh, caught the red. Caught the red on the way up. That just spoiled
40.
it. Back to the long grass then.
Mark Allen. 40.
Not entertaining the reds there that are together. Just two cushions into the back of the pack. Well, he's covered that one, but he misjudged that slightly. He almost stuck that red up, but the pinks come to his rescue. Might be a path through for a red into the right corner. He liked the middle of those three reds, but he can't see enough of that. The other one's very difficult. Not guaranteed to get on a colour. Does he feel he can see enough of the one nearest the pocket? It's tight. I don't think he can see enough of that. I mean, he's right behind the shot, but from this side it doesn't look so. So he's now playing the other one. This is a tough shot.
One.
Good pot, but didn't manage to hold for the pink.
Green ball. You won. One.
Good stuff that from Mark. He's just saying to Greg, the red on the right hand side, excuse me, from where he is, just giving the referee a proper look at it. He's got two that he can glance there. Needs to avoid the green and the brown. Nice flick. Possible shot to nothing though for Nigel. It's a much a shot to nothing actually because of that other red in the other corner. But a half chance.
Similar type shot from Mark Allen, but I think he can get round the back of the black and red.
One.
Unintentionally cannoned into the red, and very difficult to cover this completely. Just glances off the black. Probably cover the one that's near the right corner, but might leave a cut in the one that's up the other end of the table. It will pot the one that's to the left of the yellow and brown, but it's a very thin one. He's more or less saying to Nigel, well, if you can cut this in, good luck to you. Can't leave it there. Now looking at the angle of the cut. It won't be far off a minute's thinking time here to decide whether to try and cut this red in or just try and knock it safe. Decided just to play it safe, and I'll tell you what. Almost got the snooker. I think you can just see the red that's nearest the right middle pocket, you can see, and he might have a go at this, but he's screwing back for safety at the same time. Might look a little bit reckless, but that's exactly what he tried there, to screw back, and the only red he could possibly leave was the one that he had a go at, and there is a chance that Nigel could cut that one in. Go close to cannoning into the red to the right of the little bunch of reds. Needs to make sure of the pot though. Yeah, well played. One. It's a similar type shot to the one that Mark Allen knocked in the last frame, and he made an 89 break off it. Got plenty of spin on that. Reverse side. Natural angle would have left it up the other side of the blue.
Six.
Yeah, that last last red didn't look much, but that was a terrific shot. Sets up this chance now. Got himself in ideal position. Reds are obviously covering one another. Play one good cannon on the 6 reds to just open them up. You're looking to just leave a high pink and then a little cannon. You could be in business.
12.
If he is playing the cannon, you'd like to cannon the 2 reds below the pink spot first. Yeah, those 2. Good shot. He was always bound to be on one.
$18. $90.
Just come up a little bit short this time. He's going to have to leave a medium length pot. He's looking at the pink, which would avail better position. Bit more pressure on the pink. It's the shot to play, but I'll tell you what, it's not all that easy under the circumstances.
Don't know if he's got the confidence, Dennis, but he could hold the spot here, couldn't he? Make a great deal of difference, but it'd be handy.
Nigel Bond, 90.
I just sensed that he didn't particularly fancy that one. He had the very easy blue, but he was running away from the reds.
This ain't no bargain either. This pocket's been playing as tight as a dead heat last couple of days. Good shot though. Dear. He feels he's had a bit
6.
of a heavy bounce off the black cushion there. And a little glance at it, let's see. Difficult to tell. Yeah, I'm just seeing whisper there. The bounce, wasn't it?
Mark Allen, 6.
Outstanding. That's what that safety shot was. He may in fact be a wee bit unfortunate. I think Mark can get through to perhaps the second red from the right, or maybe even the one on the extreme right, and play some sort of shot to nothing. Yeah, I think it's the one on the extreme right he's playing. Yeah, decide. Well, that's a strange shot for me. Alright, he may get the cover with yellow and brown, and he has got it. And a brilliant shot actually, but oh, that boy, that was dangerous. That was dangerous. I think all Nigel can do here is just settle for leaving Mark a red to right middle. He don't get any other option, I don't think. Can play cushion and in behind the red near the black. about all he can do. Played it well. Good shot.
It's a good target, the yellow and brown. Mark's doing to Nigel. Nigel was doing to Mark in the frame before the mid-session interval. He had Mark in all sorts of trouble. The roles are reversed here at the moment. Well, I don't know if the two reds are a plant. Even if they're not, he can have a go at the one this side of the pink spot. Can't be all that far off being a plant, the two reds. Okay, if you were over the right side of the table, it'd be easier, I think. You could make that plant, but from where Nigel is, you couldn't.
One. Mark out. One.
Cross double safety might not be any use to him. Dangerous. The prospect of pushing a red towards left corner. He's thinking about it. Where he can hit this red thin enough. He can avoid the double kiss. But can he avoid the red contacting the others? I played the pink, that was not the one. to be playing. Clever shot.
1.
Hoping for a nice angle on the pink. He's on it. A wee bit straight though. I was perhaps thinking develop the reds by the black there. Can't do that now though.
Five.
Oh, that's a terrific
6.
shot with the rest, and now he can play the cannon onto the black and red. Trying to get the gap there between the red and black, but it's still okay. Please himself what he does here. He can get over for the red that's right side of the table. He could try and maybe bring the other into play. Just the one, the right side for the moment. Got himself into a 20-point lead.
80.
So we need that
90.
fast red, and I think he's got an angle on the pink to get to it. No, he's keeping things tight, and he feels that he might be able to just possibly screw in
C5.
tight to the black there.
Mark Allen, 25.
All of a sudden, it's Mark Allen that's calling all the shots. Doesn't want the white in.
And a miss. Mark Allen, 4.
White goes in, it's the end of frame. If he misses the red this time, he'll be 35 behind with just a possible 35 remaining. Must hit.
Yeah.
He could hit just this side of the middle pocket. He needs to play it with a lot of side though. Needs to get a lot of left-hand side to create that angle. And that's how close he's got to get to the middle pocket to be able to create the angle for himself. There's the side. Can he find? Well played. Should have concentrated on putting the red safe. He was trying to bring the black into play, but That could have cost him this frame. Doesn't miss many of those.
One.
Yeah, I think Nigel just put all his concentration into bringing the black into play there and should have made sure of keeping the red safe.
Six.
Wouldn't expect Nigel to come back.
Mark Allen, six.
Ian
And the
Snooker,
frame.
yes, he's had enough.
Yeah, sure.
So Mark Allen wins the first 2 frames since the mid-session interval.
Quiet, please.
It's 3-all. A best of 11 at the outset this
Frame set.
evening has now become a best of 5 for a place in tomorrow evening's semi-final. It's 2 or 3 times this evening Nigel's left this half ball red for Mark Allen. Don't want to do that too often.
One.
As Dennis said before, rightly, the potted it red like that in frame 5, made 89 off it. What's he got for us this time?
Must be an awkward angle on the yellow for Mark being a left-hander. That would be much easier, but obviously the green avails better position. Covered the one he intended to be on.
Yeah. Four.
I don't know if it's a natural angle to go around the back of the black or whether he might have to play the cannon to develop it. Well, he did force
5.
the angle there so that he didn't cannon into the red and black. He could have pushed the black safe. He snookered himself again.
7.
He's had a little joke previously with the referee, and this time with the crowd, more or less saying, I don't know what I'm doing on the positional side of things at the moment. It's just a safety shot. He's not risking that pot.
Mark Allen, 7.
Missed a trick there, Nigel, getting the green half of the table. That's what Mark Allen's tried. He's missed it as well. They've both missed out. Don't think Nigel will make the mistake this time. He's going to get the green half. And he's obviously worried about pushing reds to the right corner. I wonder if he'd maybe play this figure of 8 style, like a break-off shot, cue ball going below the blue. That would guarantee it. Yeah, he's going plain ball. He's got the green side this time. This could be trouble for Mark. This could be trouble.
Okay, Mark.
Just looking, he may have one escape route to land on the red that's closest to the cushion. That's the one shot that he could escape. If he just landed on that one. Everything else is quite tricky. Played it well. Well, he's left a tempter for Mark Allen, and he needed to get that white tight on the cushion. Okay, there's no path back down the table if he took the pot on to the right corner, so he's not even contemplating that. Similar scenario for Nigel Bond here.
appears he's looking at the cushion first escape, but having a close look at that, I don't think he can quite get through, but because if he misses the first red, he's got a chance of hitting the second. You see that there. Be tempted to play that. Obviously feels he can rest down on this extreme red on the right and not do any damage. And the red perhaps goes along the cushion, but it wouldn't be any use to him. There's just no way of getting the cue ball out of there. Desperately looking for a path back up in behind yellow and green. Well, I don't think he'll get ambitious with the pot. Just try and run it in, leave the cue ball in the corner. Good shot.
One.
The ball that he'd want to play here would be the green. Just to catch the left. Just left centre of it, but so you have to put your trust in the table. Never easy.
Yellow
Yeah,
one.
he's probably taking yellow because of that. He doesn't want to trust. So a little nestle cannon on the green. Hold the cue ball. Decent shot.
Now you won. One. Thank you.
Now this is a genuine chance to get in behind yellow. He's thinking about taking the pot on, wants to try and be aggressive. I don't think he's attempting any pot. He may be playing the cut back. Yeah, he did, but I'm surprised. He had a figure of 8 safety there in behind the yellow, and he'd have got very close to it. Just didn't spot it.
Sorry. He's been very fortunate not to have done any damage. Fortunate not to leave anything. Also been quite fortunate not to leave Nigel a better chance of getting in behind yellow or green. Excuse me, he may still do that.
But it wasn't easy. Oh, he pushed the red to right corner, needs help with the blue, and he hasn't got it. That is an awful shot. That's probably the worst shot Nigel's played in the match so far.
One.
This Brown. The difficulty with this Brown sometimes, when you've been in a safety exchange as they have for the best part of 10 minutes, it's difficult to switch back into scoring mode. Oh, good shot. Very good shot. Well controlled.
Five.
The pink's certainly available, and I think the black's okay into the right corner. And just look round. Someone
He's
just
feeling well.
maybe just wanting to pop outside.
It's okay.
All good again.
All right. Thanks, Mark. Thank you. Six.
Chance here just to clear the black spot area a little bit. Didn't need much of a cannon.
$30. $40.
You just sense that Mark Allen's starting to take control of this quarter-final. 3-1 down at the mid-session interval. He's done Precious a little wrong since that interval.
90. $20. $27.
Don't imagine that he wants to be messing with any little cannons right now. No need to.
38.
But yeah, this is a key point in the match. He led it 1-0 since then. Dennis said 3-1 behind at the intermission. Want to win the frame at this visit. The ascendancy, momentum and all that.
$35.
Yeah, he can win the frame with the loose reds,
$36.
so he doesn't have to even contemplate cannoning one of them. Just have a quick look at the scoreboard. That's what he's done. 49 ahead. He did
43.
well past the winning post with the 3 easy reds.
$44.
Yep, Nigel Bone just that one careless safety shot. As Alan said at the time, probably the worst shot he's played in the match, where he left the red on for the right corner And this is the result.
Fifth. $51.
Already safe in this frame.
57.
Just to make absolutely certain of it. And
58.
just looks to have found quite a nice rhythm now. Breaks of 89. Not much in the previous frame, bit awkward the frame, but this has been superb. And there's another terrific shot.
63. 64.
Yes, he's a great potter. Yes, he's a savage break builder. But you don't become a top player at this game without
71.
other assets. Mental fortitude, bottle. He's got it all in
72.
spades, this fella. Beginning, as Dennis said, to take charge.
Yeah, this is a player we're looking at that's won 5 ranking tournaments and also the Masters.
79.
Of course, he's won 2 World Open titles in China. It's been a superb break, this. It really has.
84. 86.
Should have made a century in frame 5, wobbled the black off its spot, but I think he might make sure this time.
89.
As I mentioned back then, he made 45 centuries
93.
last season, 26 this season, 440 in total.
98.
Oh, he's missed the pink again, so
Mark Allen.
no
98.
century break, but isn't he doing well at the moment? That was a magnificent break of 98, and he gets himself into the lead, 4 frames to 3. Yeah, you just sense, Alan, that he's taken control of this match.
Riley, please.
Nigel, one careless shot there. He, as you said at the time, it was a poor safety, and he's been very good with his safety, but this was careless to do what he did here. I mean,
Keep the noise
he's
down.
concentrating on the white, and you've got to keep the red safe. You can't push the red. I mean, that was, as you said, it was very strange, but that's what cost him.
Yes, it was more a lapse in concentration than, you know, it's not one that you call, oh, that was a terrible shot. Yes, the result was terrible, but it was more the decision. He just almost got his mind in a bit of a muddle. Didn't know what shot to play. Got to put that behind him. Lost 3 in the spin now. I said before about that momentum thing. Mark Allen's, he's the man with it. And Nigel has turn to respond. That's the beauty of the best of 11s. Always a story to tell, ups and downs.
Well, he'll be sitting there thinking I was 5-2 down against Gary Wilson. I come back and won the match. I'm only 1 behind of 4-3. So there won't be any negative thoughts in his head at this stage.
Frame 8. Mark Allen's break.
Mark Allen's turn then to be the hunted, if you want to call it that, back in front. I don't think the plant's on to right corner, so he's sizing up this long red. No end of danger attached to it. He has an angle, so perhaps he's playing the cue ball up and down for blue or bulk colour. Oh, hit it good too. He hit it good.
No, he's starting to cue beautifully. And I think this Barbican crowd have sensed that also. I mean, that was right in the center of the pocket. That's when you know you're cueing really well. You don't touch the sides. And when he gets on a roll like this, Mark Allen, he can reel them off in very fluent time.
He may be faced with a little conundrum here. If he takes the pink, it may go on the black spot. I can't tell. He probably wouldn't want that, so may be forced to go up for blue off this red. Let's see then. Yeah, happy enough. Stay in the pink.
4.
Perhaps feels it won't go on the black spot. See, that's what he was worried about, Greg. We were just checking it. It does go. Didn't make a massive difference. He just didn't want it there.
10.
Yeah, Mark's perfectly entitled just to ask Greg to have a look at it again.
Okay.
It's fair dues, you know, Mark asking the question. He's in no way saying, I think you've made the wrong decision, Greg. He's probably the disappointment that he was convinced it wouldn't spot.
11.
And he controls this correctly. It'll solve part of the problem. Get that red away. Well played.
Seventy. 80. $24.
Just make sure there's no plants around and then go crashing into the reds here. It's going to be unlucky. Only the one possible pot available to him into the right middle pocket.
30.
Just hit a three-quarter ball, the red he intended, rather than full on, but still unlucky to scatter them and not leave something a little bit easier than this. Not this time.
Mark Allen. 30.
We've got a slight angle on this red into the left corner. He'd automatically finish on pink or black. Terrific shot.
One.
Well done, Nigel Bond. Chance to get going again here. Terrific opener.
8. Nine.
Always had the red over the right middle as a little
50.
bit of insurance. I think he's just gone a little bit further than the red he intended. One of those 3 near the black was available, but the black might still pot into the left corner. Yeah,
60.
it certainly does. Could have done with a slightly better angle than that. See, he could brush off the reds and run out of position here if he follows through. But on these fine cloths, you can force the angle even when you're straight. But you must make sure you pot it. You've got to keep it as easy as possible for yourself.
83.
You don't want to be leaving yourself these awkward little shots. This is not straightforward here.
Yeah, the easiest way to pot it is playing it plain ball, but it's also the most dangerous way of playing it. Oh, every credit.
Four.
Backed himself to knock it in, and now that he has done, I'm not saying it's a cast iron chance to win the frame. He's been going, he's not really in stroke or rhythm at the minute, Nigel. But going along nicely here.
Third. One.
That's lovely. That's developed the 2 reds that are near the black. And when he pots the one to the left, it releases the one to the right for the left corner.
87.
Had very little
Let's
chance for 3 frames. Mark Allen's had breaks of 89 and then 98 in the previous frame. Good response, this.
.44.
would
75.
dearly love to, and going round the two cushions off this pink, dearly love to get on one of the two together. That's the key to the frame. Yeah, that should do nicely. 21 the lead then.
51.
He doesn't really want to play this one. You always pessimistically think there's a chance he could get a kick. Nice clean contact though.
52.
And this has been full of character, belief, and bottle.
You can't beat a bit of Bondi bottle.
58.
Mm.
59.
You would have liked it a little easier than this. 29 in front. Blue and red needed to leave Mark Allen wanting a snooker. Very well played. The red's not straightforward, but it's a frame winner.
64.
Well, he just won't go away. This 50-year-old player that's playing some of the best snooker that he's done for many, many years.
67. 69.
I suppose the only good thing about him playing so well, Alan, it means we won't have him on the seniors tour because he's on the main tour. Playing like this, he'd take some beating.
72.
Yeah, he's a former world champion, senior world champion, isn't he? It's Bondi.
76.
In the regular tour, he's showing he's still got it.
$81.
A little exhibition shot from Nigel. Come on, all the way around the table, Nigel. Here it comes. Spin over behind the black.
87.
Oh, it doesn't matter about the black.
87.
What a response from Nigel Bond. Back against the wall a little bit. What does he do? He produces a break of 87. We're all square. It's 4 each. Just when it looked like Mark Allen was taking control of the match, Nigel Bond steps up and produces that, Allen.
Yeah, he's found.
Frame 9. Nigel Bond.
Best of 5 has now become a best of 3. Needs some help. It was a bit of a twitchy one, wasn't it? He's left this red again. He's left it all evening for Mark. For a left-hander, this is tough, isn't it? The bridging's awkward. Can't get the cue down as level as he would like.
One.
Yeah, it was so important to get a good break-off shot there. It's a bit annoying, really. Nigel will be sitting in the seat thinking, I've just
4.
made a fabulous 87. All I need is a good break-off shot, and he went the wrong side of the blue.
5.
There's only this red that's available, then he needs a cannon.
12. $30.
And a key early shot coming up here. Just quite a delicate little cannon to leave that one at the back, and means there's a couple more
20.
possible.
$21. $28. $29.
Just that one red to the left of the little triangle of reds there that's still potable. Just means with that pink going there, if he pots this red and gets on the black, it makes it a
55.
little bit awkward, so he might come back for the blue.
36.
So anything only half ball contact with the cannon here when he pots the blue. Or he can go in off if you catch it half ball. I think he went a bit too far for the
41.
blue there. That's why he didn't go in as he normally does.
As recovery shots go, that's up there. That was a cracking shot. Just pushed one red out. There's one at the top of the bunch, will go as well. Makes this shot easier actually, the fact you've got two reds to land on. Yeah. Spoke about
44.
Nigel's character. You see there, 68 the target. This is
45.
will become a bit of a slugfest, this match towards the end. Brilliant stuff.
Yes, he's come through a couple of really tough deciding frame matches against Kurt Mafflin. Very tight finish to that one. And he led Jack Jones 5-1, and he
51.
leveled the score, and that was right down to the wire. So he doesn't mind a bit of pressure in the deciding frame, this player. Oh, that's a delightful shot.
56.
Well, I'm sure we were talking about Nigel and his coaching. The thing that he would coach people was to make sure you get a good break-off shot. And he knew his worst break-off shot of the match, and it's cost him dearly.
64. $65. 68. 69.
The brown doesn't matter.
Mark Allen. 69.
Nigel, yeah,
And the
he
frame.
nods his head. So, with one shot in that frame, Nigel Bond, he broke off. Mark Allen did the rest. A nice smooth 69 to re-establish the lead. He's 5-4 in front now.
Yeah, he sort of got himself back in with that fabulous 87 break, looking for a good break-off shot. He knew straight away, caught this all wrong, hit the red too thin, and came down, well, the wrong side of the blue. But looking at that table, you wouldn't think that Mark was going to win the frame from there, but he certainly did.
Yeah, here's the opening pot, and what a shot this was. Awkward bridging. See how high his cue's there, resting on his almost half like he's bridging over the edge of another ball. That's how difficult that was cueing wise. Brilliant shot. Standard has been upped since the intermission. 89, 98, 87, 69 in the last. There's one frame. Frame 6 where it wasn't a big break.
Frame 10. Mark Allen to break.
And since that mid-session interval, a couple of stats for you. Mark Allen is 94% pot success since that interval. That tells you the standard. There it is there. Nigel, perfectly acceptable 89. Good stuff. Overall in the match, let's have a look. 90, 87. Yeah, been good stuff, but yeah, especially so since the interval. Nigel not taking any risks. Has he left one?
I think it's just pulled up in time. Yeah, under other circumstances, he would have had a go at that pot and got on the black, but he knows he can't make many more mistakes. He's got a red into the left corner, the one to the left of the pink, but black not available into the right corner because of the red next to it, so he's taking this more difficult straight red. And that last shot just freed the black up somewhat. What sort of angle has he got on this? It was worth a risk there. A bit more screw on that, and had he potted that, he would have developed the pink. Left it rather awkward though for Nigel. We did have one re-rack in this match, and after the re-rack, Mark Allen won the frame in one visit. Well, this is awkward. Surprised he took that one on. It was really difficult bridging over the reds and almost straight on that red.
One.
I think this is where he's got to be aggressive. Half ball brown, try and get something moving down there. If he plays on a loose red, he's got to be precise with position. Not easy to drop on one. I think he's got to play this. Try and make something happen. No, he's playing the green then, so that tells he's playing on a single red, but he's not on one, he's on nothing. I just think that was the wrong shot. He's got to be a wee bit more aggressive there.
4. Nigel 1. 4.
There's more of that ringcraft and guile. Clever shot.
Can get over behind the green and brown again here. Kind of a slight problem here. Don't think you can get past the blue just to snick that red that's close to the black. No, you can clearly see that, and Mark's having a look to see if he can. They're all having a peep. Peekaboo.
It's actually one of those instances here where it's important that Greg Caniglio has deciphered whether or not Nigel can see a red full ball. Doesn't matter now. Good shot, good escape. Unfortunate kiss on the blue though. Don't think the pink goes to corner, does it? The black is waiting. So one good shot here from Mark Allen.
Well, I thought for all the world that was going to drop in. looked as if it was going in.
1.
I hope he's not watching this somewhere on the internet, but that's how Cliff Thorburn started his maximum break at the Crucible Theatre, the first ever one, with a fluke. And then he went on to create history. Nicely played to remove the red from the
3.
black spot. Felt he hadn't
4.
got the angle to hold for the black that time. He's going to have to go all the way around the table from the blue, and there's the green and brown in the way. There is a red available into the right corner. There's also one into the left corner, but he hasn't avoided the brown.
9.
I thought he could hold for the black there. I think he might be nominating yellow here.
Yellow ball. Nigel 1. 10.
That's a good length from the safety shot there. A little bit of an awkward frame. There's only the one colour on its own spot. That's the blue. What does he spot it here? Oh. Mind you, if he risks that, he could quite easily send it on to the other red there. He'd have to be very precise with the contact. If he was right in behind it, well, this is a huge shot under the circumstance. Huge shot coming up.
Let's keep an eye on the red that he's going to cannon as well. It might spoil position on the black. No, it's gone round the back of it.
1.
If the black goes on its spot here, he's not really on anything. It doesn't. See the plant again there.
8.
Well worked out from Nigel. Black temporarily out of commission then. He obviously feels that if he plays this just with topspin, he feels, I think, that he's going to catch the red on the left-hand side. So he may have to just jack up a wee bit here and stun through the gap. Found the gap. That'll do nicely.
9.
Well, that's a misjudgment. He thought he could
12.
avoid the brown there. There was a few reds waiting for him if he hadn't contacted the brown. You know he's going to play the safety shot. He was just worried about leaving the one this near the right corner. So just over a minute thinking time. He knows that he can't afford any more mistakes. So very few anyway. Otherwise it's all over. Played it well. It was
12.
worth the wait. Nothing there to really play behind. You're just trying to get it as tight to the cushion as possible. Oh, look at this. Is he going to get away with it? He could have left something easier because he mishit that safety completely. Pressure on every shot now for Nigel Bond. Passing the minute once again for thinking time on this very important shot. He is so unlucky there. If he flicks the red, he's in perfect position. What an attempt that was. He's tried to get over. He wanted just to hit that red half ball and he was in prime position. Bit unfortunate. Keep the brown safe, keep the pink safe, keep the yellow safe. 27 points advantage. The way the table's situated here is not a bad scoreline to have. Don't know if he can get over behind the yellow from here. But there's the green safe.
One.
He's got these colours tied up, or well, 4 of them tied up.
Mark Allen, 1.
This will need a bit of thinking time. He's in all sorts of trouble here. He's looking to see if there's a possible path through to that red near the left corner. He'd have to get in behind that, otherwise he'd leave one to the right. If he gets out of this will be one of the tightest situations he's been in for quite some time. It's a sticky situation for Bond.
Yeah, I honestly don't see him getting out of this one. Maybe hit a red, but how does he get it safe? Yeah, it's just a hit and hope. Don't blame him. So, chance for the counter-attack. Mark Allen, 5 reds in the open. Oh, that's awful. That was awful, wasn't it? I thought he'd lost it tight to the black for a second. He's just still on it. It shouldn't have been this difficult. Nowhere near it. No.
Yeah, you were absolutely right, Alan. It was the initial shot. He should have been straight on the black. Still fancied him to get that, but I think he probably would have been disappointed where he put the cue ball.
Okay, nice. One.
The black's taking him away from the reds. It's a very easy pot, but he'd have to go all the way around the table to leave an easy red. That's why he's looking at the blue, which would avail better position. I mean, if he gets round the table anywhere just past the blue, he'd be okay. And he's finished up hitting it too well. Doesn't know his own strength.
8.
Got a little bit of noise now. Players just finished on the other table, so we're at a very crucial stage in this match. 33 points in front is a good advantage with the table as it is. Touching ball would help Nigel here. Not though. Nothing to play behind. The ball colours all safe. He's got the old DDK. Dreaded double kiss. What a chance for Nigel Bond now.
One. Six.
39 then, 2 reds, 2 colours. Oh, just the red
7.
actually, but in addition to the blue. So the key shot then. Get nice and tight to this red. Right below the black spot. Won't risk any cannons, anything like that. Just a soft bounce on and off the cushion. Played it nicely. Virtual frame ball then.
We're going to have another deciding shootout match for Mark Allen, and of course another deciding frame for Nigel Bond, who came back from 5-2 down to win the decider against Gary Wilson. Well, every credit to Nigel Bond here. Mark Allen has thrown a string of high breaks against him, and he still bounces back.
That's 8.
Doesn't matter about that.
Nigel Bond 28 and the frame.
Nigel Bond, as Mark Allen signals to the referee, takes the frame, and we've got a 1-frame shootout. We're 5 frames all.
Nigel Bond's the brick. Thank you, Newt. Thank you.
Settled in then. It's the decider.
And a better break-off shot this time from Nigel. This hit his break-off shot when he was last breaking off, and it cost him the frame. Got to be careful with this one, that he catches it correctly. Could have done with a little bit more pace on it. He's left an easy safety shot for Mark Allen here. But in any deciding frame, you just want one opportunity, at least one chance.
Part of the approach, I think, for Nigel in this decider is not to play it as a decider. I mean, obviously it's easier said than done. What I mean by that is playing this shot here. I like the shot he's playing. There's no thought of hedging his bets and just playing off a cushion into the red. Sometimes you've got to take some sort of risk. Just play it as a normal frame. It's easier said than done. So nothing for Mark to go at. Be careful with this red he's playing. Yeah, if he's pushing it towards left corner, needs a good cue ball. Pretty good.
Can't take this pot on because the black, he's just looking to see if it would be available, but it doesn't look to be. So pink also tied up, so not a lot of value in even contemplating taking that pot on. Very rarely would you see this man play the wrong shot. Well, you might have heard Mark Allen saying as soon as he made contact with that, Mark Allen said, good shot. It's been played with a great spirit, this match. A little bit of fun between both players and the referee, and you can see just coming up to 3 hours and 19 minutes of very entertaining stuff, even though it's, well, the average frame time is, as you can see, 19 minutes and 31 seconds. Is there another plant here? Well, do you know, there was a similar shot in the last frame into the other corner pocket, and he pulled it off. In fact, if he takes the plant on, he might be able to find a path back through the reds. He's eyeing up something else now.
In a minute and 15 seconds and counting, thinking time, having another look at the plant. I think part of the problem is he's not got all of the pocket to make the plant. He'd maybe fancy it more if the cue ball were more out into the middle of the table and he could more control. I think that's the problem. Go in the right half of the pocket as we see it from behind there, but perhaps not in off the left edge. But if he doesn't see a good safety shot, theory, you might as well just be aggressive and take the bull by the horns. But there's serious doubt in his mind, isn't there, about the authenticity of the plant, whether it's a genuine chance or not. Difficult to tell. Has that red covered the other one? One to right middle. Yeah, there you see it. Yeah, you'd maybe get it dead weight if you were right behind it, but that went but for the other red and just came and spoiled it. So he's got himself out of a situation there, Nigel. Found himself in another, mind you.
there's a few obstacles into coming down the left side of the table here for the safety shot. There's the red closest to the corner pocket and the one up towards the middle pocket there, in line of the return back to the safety area from that angle. Big puff of the cheeks there. Sometimes you're at the table and you just can't see a shot to play. If he tries to get back down the table, he will do very well to avoid canning into one. He's hit them both. He was in a tough spot, but at first glance you wouldn't call it an easy opening. Black is available if he can roll this red in, come off 2 cushions. This could give him a great chance here in this decider if this comes off. Chances there for Mark Allen. It was a very good safety shot that he played that had Nigel in all sorts of trouble. How long will he be sitting in that seat? One thing about this player, probably has got as much bottle as any player I've ever seen in the game.
8. 9.
And the black's only available into one corner
60.
pocket at the moment. Little
70.
bit pacey, needs to pull up. Slight change of plan because of the red over the middle pocket. He can take the green.
Good solid pot. This is where a snooker player earns their stripes. 11:15, a Friday evening.
20.
A lot of people out enjoying themselves, and the people in the Barbican right now enjoying this. Mark Allen hard at graft. This is what it's all about.
Yes, a player who's been runner-up twice in this UK
21.
Championship. He's just losing the white just a little bit each time. Yeah, you'd have to put him as, well, he'd be one of the strong favourites now to lift the title this year, but he's still got to negotiate this deciding frame. And that's far from easy from this situation. This could change things. He might have a gap through for the red to the left of the black. He
26.
didn't need to go into it with a lot of pace there. It was a thin snick, and there's the gap. And every chance that he can get onto the black into the same pocket here. Doesn't have to play for the black. He's going to leave it. Didn't want to risk snookering himself with that red to the right of the black had he have tried to get on it there. That little shake of the head tells you he's still not in ideal position, but he's in the driving seat.
Desperately searching for a loose red to play on. There are a couple of options. None of them are easy though. He's just weighing up. Should I play the cannon? The holding cannon into the reds. I think he's playing the cannon. Oh, he's played it well. Good shot. Very good.
$32.
$35 more points, you would say, would put him in to tomorrow's semi-final. Wow, is it in? I think when he hit that, he thought he'd put it on the right jaw of the pocket. And for a moment there, it looked as if he had missed this at that stage, but then it just curled in the way it used to do with the old cloths.
$40.
Brilliant under pressure, this man. He played such a good safety shot to put Nigel in all sorts of trouble, and Nigel had to think about a safety escape for about a minute and a half, and in the end he just couldn't find the gap. This was it. So many, those two reds were just in the wrong position.
$47.
Trying to remove that red that was causing a little bit of a problem for the black.
52.
That was a better shot than it looked. Easy to lose the cue ball there, so he's almost home, Mark Allen. 2 reds, 2 blacks would be enough.
53.
It's cool as a cucumber. Blessed with a terrific temperament. See, he just wants to make absolutely certain, and well, Nigel's just got to hope that something can go wrong, but well, that's not exactly as he anticipated. He's having to take
60.
a long red up into the right corner by the looks of things. This, you would feel, would get him into the semi-final. We're right down the queue. It's there.
61.
I'll tell you what though, Alan, Nigel Bond's got to be so proud of himself. What
68.
a performance he's put up here in this year's UK Championship.
He sure has, Nigel Bond.
69.
Every credit, but Mark Allen past the winning point now. But yeah, Nigel Bond's been a credit to himself and the game.
How could I miss the black, he says.
Mark Allen,
Nigel's
69.
coming to the table, but barring Snookers, Mark Allen's through to the semi-final.
One.
He can't believe. How can I miss that?
Eight. Nine.
You just never know in this game. Remember that match with a couple of nights ago, Yan Bingtao and Neil Robertson. They needed 4 snookers at one stage, did Neil, and managed to win the frame, and that's gone wrong though. Can't get on the black bar for going
60.
in and out of bulk.
Yeah, he needs to get back on a high value colour, because at the moment he needs 3 4-point snookers. He's got to avoid all the colours to get back round the table here. And he didn't.
70.
Just checking the score. If he pots the green, he's going to need even more snookers. Pots a green, 49 the difference, with just 35 remaining. That's why he's going for the blue here. I'm just wondering if he's going to come forward. He is. What a performance from both players. It was a terrific quarter-final. Nigel Bond's got to be so proud of his performance, but once again it's the man from County Antrim in Northern Ireland who wins a deciding frame. That's 3 of them, and he's through to the semi-final, beating Nigel Bond by 6 frames to 5.